What's up YouTube? Apple Pro here, and today in this video we are going to be discussing the differences between iPhone 6s and the 7 because the iPhone 7 was announced 2 days ago. So we're going to recap all the similarities and differences, and before I begin the video, I want to let you know that you guys already know that I bought an iPhone 6s, and I am happy with that iPhone 6s, and I am not upgrading to the 7, and I will tell you guys as we go through. There are like 2 or 3 reasons why. And I will go through and discuss those with you as we go through. So number one, started. Let's talk about the design. So the iPhone 6s, if you guys have seen the pictures, the iPhone 6s and 7 are very similar in design as far as the screen size, I guess the screen size and height of the device, as well as the thinness. The only thing that's really different is the camera, the home button, and the antennas. Those are really the only 3 major things that are visible in difference of the design, and we'll discuss each one of those as we go through. But those are really the differences. The similarities is that they're both almost the same design. The antennas is really the biggest change that you'll notice. But by looking at the front of it, it's even hard to tell that it's if it's an iPhone 7 or 6s. The front of it looks exactly like an iPhone 6 or 6s. So that is the design. Number 2, again, I'm pulling a lot of these from the keynote, but number 2 is it's water resistant. You can splash water on it. Now, people have done video water tests on iPhone 6s, and those fared up fairly well too. Now, for me, I'm not going to go ahead and put my iPhone in water, but I have watched other people's videos on YouTube, and they would water test their iPhones, and the iPhone 6s fared up pretty well too, so I think it could handle much. But I think since Apple actually said that the iPhone 7 is waterproof, it's probably a lot better, and it probably would be able to withstand water a lot more. But people have also used water tests against iPhone 6s, and it kind of fared up well too. But yeah, the iPhone 7 is advertised to be water resistant. They said in the keynote that they blocked up all like possible holes for, like, for example, the home button, the buttons, the volume buttons, the lock button, all the possibilities for water getting in. So it is water resistant, which is kind of cool. But for me personally, I don't even take my Apple Watch. My Apple Watch is also water resistant as well, and I don't even take that in the water. So I feel like there's no need for me to do that, but that's just me. Number 3, the iPhone display. Well, as we already talked about in the beginning, the iPhone 6s and 7 display are exactly the same as far as screen size, but the color gamut and the brightness on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus are different. It's able to, in the iPhone 7, it's more colorful, so Apple used, I guess, rainbow colors to kind of show that. To be able to see it, it's more precise in being able to see the difference in color. So it's wide color gamut, and it's 25% brighter. So I think that's kind of cool. Number 4, the A10 chip. So obviously, every iPhone has a newer chip, and the iPhone 6s is rocking a A9 chip, but the iPhone 7 is rocking an A10 Fusion chip. They even use the word fusion in it, and I actually don't know what that means. I haven't looked it up, but as of right now, I don't know what fusion means. But it is faster, obviously. But the iPhone 6 is pretty fast too. It's been able to do some intensifying graphical games. So for that particular reason alone, the iPhone 6s is really good, and I think it's good enough for me. So I'll probably be, like I said, I'll be waiting a few years before I upgrade. The iPhone 7 is a little bit too quick for me, but I think I'm just going to stick with the iPhone 6s for another few years. Number 5, battery. So Apple advertised that the iPhone 7's battery is 2 hours longer than our current iPhone 6's battery. However, they did not advertise the specific battery capacity, I guess, in the iPhone 7's, but the iPhone 6 is running 15 milliamp hours battery on the iPhone 6s. But the iPhone 7, Apple did not advertise. All they said was it's 2 hours longer. So I'm assuming, I guess, that doesn't say a lot, but we'll see once the iPhone, because the iPhone is actually being released on the 16th think it was the 16th or the 15th. So like it'll be released in stores for people to see and put hands on. But we'll see about that. We'll really be able to test all that when it comes out. So that is the battery. Number 6 is price and availability models. So the good thing that Apple did with the 7 now, a lot of people, and I guess kind of including me, they've been including the 16 gigabyte, which is kind of annoying. The iPhone SE also has a 16 gigabyte model, which is not a lot, but I just buy the 16 gigabyte. Again, you've probably already figured I have a 16 gigabyte model for my iPhone 6s, which I guess is fine. I don't do a whole lot. I do a lot more on my iPad than I do on my phone, because my iPad I like the bigger screen. And my iPad mini 2 is actually perfectly fine. I'm happy with it. So I don't play many games on my iPhone because I just don't. I play a lot more games on my iPad than I do my iPhone. However, the iPhone 7's storage model this year starts at 32 gigabytes for the same price, which is $649. So that's kind of a good thing. They got rid of 16 gigabyte and they've doubled every model. So that's really cool. I think it was 32 gigabytes and 128 and 258, I think, if I remember correctly. But somewhere like that. So they did double all the memory for this iPhone, which is good for most people, including me. But I'm still not buying the iPhone 7. But that is inference. But the price does stay the same. The iPhone 6s now has dropped $100, so now it starts at $549, and the 6s or the 7 starts at $649, and the iPhone 6s starts at $549. 7, the camera. Both iPhone's cameras are still 12 megapixels. However, the 6s is 1.8 aperture, and the 7 is 2.2, and the flash is much brighter. So I guess that's kind of a good thing. Now the iPhone 7 Plus has a double lens, where the iPhone 7 only has one. Don't know why Apple did that. I wish Apple could have included the double lens on both. I guess they did that to encourage more people to get the 7 Plus. That's my only guess why they did that. But the iPhone 7 Plus has double lens, which allows, one of them is just the camera. Well, both of them are the camera, but one of them really focuses on just seeing the video, and the other one focuses on being able to make more accurate pictures. So if you were taking a picture, the camera could focus on, like, if it was a picture of me, it would focus on me, and then the background would be blurry. So it's able to create more depth and more accuracy, from what I understood in the keynote. So that's kind of cool. But again, I don't know. We'll test that once the 7 is out and people start buying it. Again, I don't know if people will be using their iPhone camera, for people who really are YouTubers like me. But this is what I'm left with right now. But later on, I'll buy a camera. But most people don't really, I don't think, use iPhone cameras to make serious videos for YouTube. They use more professional cameras. But we'll see how more professional, I guess, this camera is in the iPhone 7. So, number 8, stereo speakers. So the iPhone 7 now has, I guess, stereo speakers, where if you're looking at an iPhone, there are speakers on both sides, on the top and the bottom of the phone. I'm not actually talking about the bottom where the home button is. There is double-side speakers there, but that actually is for something else. It's not for necessarily speakers. When I say double speakers, I literally mean the top of the phone and the bottom. If you're standing it up by its height, the top and the bottom of the phone, there are speakers. So just like the iPad Pro right now, the iPad Pro has speakers on both sides. Now the iPhone 7 has that similarity speaker, just like the iPad Pro has right now. So that gives you a better idea. But the iPhone 6s is obviously running only one speaker, so that's the difference there in speakers. But we'll see how good it is. Number 9, Touch ID. So this is like I mentioned earlier, with the water resistance. Apple has now made their iPhone 7 and 7 Plus's home button flush within the screen. So just like the Mac, it's not really that much clickable anymore. It's more you just force touch on it. So the new home button is not clickable. It's just you just force on it. Whereas the 6S is clickable, and that, I guess, is to not allow water to not be able to get in the phone. And I guess it's also a new step up for design, because why not make something new? So, but we'll see how well it is. I'm pretty sure it'll be a little bit faster too. But that is the new Touch ID on the 7. It's just flush with the screen. So number 10, the last feature, is the removal of the headphone jack. This is the main reason why I decided to stick with the 6S. I already knew from watching all the videos on YouTube that, I mean, this was pretty legit. I'm still curious how people knew this. I'm having to assume that someone from Apple had to have spread a rumor and started something. I don't know how people would have known this. It seems too coincidental for people to know exactly how the design is, because it was exactly what people predicted with the fake models before it actually was released or announced. Not released, announced. So, but yeah, that is the main reason why I've decided to stick with the 6. Because, for example, Apple is including the new. They said that the reason why they're doing this too is to allow more room in the phone, but also they said a lot of accessories already with the 6S. You use that Lightning connector, so they feel like it's more accurate and more realistic, and they're just trying. I think Apple also announced their new AirPods, which I'm totally not buying, but they announced it, so I think Apple's trying to go more wireless here. But for people who do still use, like me, still have this headphones that came with the 6 or the 6S, there's a cord that allows you to plug in to the 7 from those old headphones, but they are including the new Lightning connector headphones within the 7. So, but my main problem with this is I listen to music a lot in my car, and I have an auxiliary cord, and sometimes I need to charge my phone in the car, and I depend on that a lot. I can't charge my phone and listen to music at the same time, so that's a problem. I mean, yeah, Apple may make an accessory for that where you can have 2 plugs that go in, but that's just another thing I got to carry. And it's another thing that I got to hold over my shoulder. So that is the main reason why I decided not to go with the 7. And I don't know why Apple did that. I mean, they try to convince us, but I'm still kind of disagreeing with that on Apple. I feel like that was a mistake, in my opinion. I feel like they should have kept the headphone jack, because hopefully they're thinking about their customers, because people like me, customers like me, don't like that. They should have not done, because other customers may not buy it because of this reason alone, because I'm so used to using a headphone jack for so many years. But anyways, those are my 10 reasons and comparisons between iPhone 6 and 6S. And now, considering all these things, are you going to upgrade? My answer, no, because I just bought my 6S and I'm happy with my 6S. But those are all the reasons and the differences and similarities between iPhone 6S and the 7. So thank you guys for watching. And again, I keep seeing my channel go up with more subscribers. So thank